Hello guys, welcome to Pillow Talks, and if you're new to this channel, please like, subscribe and press the notification button. So on today's show we have the lovely Jaisha. Hi Jaisha, how are you doing today?
Fine,
and you're a newbie on our show, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
So welcome, let's welcome Jaisha to the Pillow Talks family. And we have the lovely Legs.
Hey.
Hey girl.
How you doing?
Why are you taking my line?
Oh, sorry.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, girl. Yeah, you sound much better saying it.
It's lovely to have you both here. So today's topic, we will be talking about how to bring up a delicate situation or issues in your relationship, so sexually, any, you know. So we're gonna explore that. And yeah, I haven't really heard this one out there, so it was a topic that I thought it'd be quite interesting to get even the comments and, you know, the knowledge from everyone. So has anyone had a delicate situation?
Can I ask first, right, when you say delicate, like how delicate? What
I was thinking that.
constitutes this delicate
Yeah.
situation?
I mean, it would be each to their own, isn't it? So I would say, for instance, I don't know whether even if your partner had one. So it could be an STD, it could be, you know, he can't get up or something, anything along those lines. Because I don't know about you guys, but if I was in a new relationship, I would find that very difficult to talk about, because you don't really know the person, and I guess over an amount of time you'd have to build a bit of trust in order to be able to open up. And that's just me on a normal day. That's just me with, I don't know, a normal thing. I don't really trust very easily, so I think it's a bit of a difficult one.
I'm gonna do it. And short of me saying it, I'm gonna say it because it's a natural thing. So what I've found in my relationship, I suffer from bacterial vaginosis, which is a natural thing. BV that women get, just like thrush and things like that. Yeah. So I'm saying it and I feel like, oh, it sounds a bit nasty, but it's not nasty because it's a natural thing. It's not an STD.
It's actually by using too much soap, isn't it?
Well, it's different things. Like, it's not even because I use natural soap. Like, I'm very natural with everything. It just, because what I found kept happening is, like, I would have sex with my partner and then I would get it and then it would go away, and then we'd have sex and I'd be fine, and then we have sex and then it come back again. Yeah. So it's about, I don't know what it's about, but it's just something that happens. I go through periods of time. Yeah. It's also about things that you eat. There's lots of different ways how it can come. Yeah. Like even your underwear or different types of material.
What? You can also be allergic to your partner's semen.
Well, you see, that's the thing. I thought I was allergic to him or allergic to something to do with him because it kept coming with having sex with him. Yeah.
So how did you, how did you discuss that with him? Was it a discussion or because I know I've had BV before and it smells as well sometimes.
Yes, it does. It smells really fishy.
Yeah, and that's how I knew that I had it. And I think that was actually when I got a coil fitted. Okay. And then I started getting this smell, and I was just like, what is that? It was weird, and I was like really paranoid about it. And I actually remember talking to my partner about it, and he was just like, just get rid of the coil then. Yeah. Which wasn't, you know, with me I was like, nah, I'm all right, I don't want no more kids. But but I think because I had been with him for a while, it wasn't a thing. Yeah. And then I remember when we were talking about it, he actually said, oh yeah, actually, I could kind of smell it. It smelled a bit different down there. So he had noticed it. I didn't even say that. Wow, like, he had noticed it, but until I had brought it up, he was just going along with it. Do you know what I mean? But even though I'd been with him for a while, it was still like
difficult.
Yeah, and because I didn't know what it was as well, I was like, it's weird because it's that kind of a new thing that was happening in women, because before that I had never ever heard of it. I've heard of thrush.
I was all about thrush. Yeah, thrush.
I've heard of thrush. I remember on another occasion as well. I was dating this guy, and it was like, I think we went on a date, and the first time that we actually done it, I had thrush, and I had to say to him, wait. It was getting hot and heavy, and I was like, I've got thrush, and he was like, I don't care. And I was just like, oh, okay.
I want some of that.
Yeah, but it's weird as well, because that didn't even actually work out. That was the first and the last time for me. But yeah, but I said it I just blurted it out, because I was like, oh my God, this looks like it's gonna happen. But yeah, he was fine with it. So it's
I think it depends. You ask like, when's a good time? It depends on the intention of obviously the relationship. I think it's always good to have healthy conversations as soon as possible, because then you know whether you want to take it further or not with the person. Yeah. And obviously when people are dating, there's an intention whether they're dating to just have sex or they're dating to be in a relationship.
Yeah, that's a big factor actually.
If you're dating to be in a relationship and sex comes up, obviously there's certain things, depending on what problems or issues people have, you would ease into it. But
yeah, because you're not gonna really want. I mean, just say for instance, I had, HIV or something, a serious, active STD. Unless, and like you said, unless I was actually looking to be with that person, indefinitely, I don't think I would bring it up.
Well, HIV is a bit different, but like with an STD, if I know that I got an STD, I wouldn't be going on a date. Yeah. Like, not because I'm trying to have sex with that person, but for myself, I just don't feel that I would feel comfortable. Yeah.
But I think it's herpes. You can, like, it doesn't go.
Yeah, herpes. No, there's different. Isn't there 2 different levels?
Yeah, there is. There's one that can go. There's one that will stay with you forever. So it's not going anywhere. So then when would you bring that up? Would you bring that up at the beginning, of the, when you first start talking, or?
I think when you first start to have a feeling that
sexual
you're going to be intimate.
Yeah.
Some point, So probably not right at the, on the first date. So look, I've had herpes.
Yeah.
But, putting it
out there, guys.
I'm just going to the toilet, yeah? Okay, cool. Where's this guy? He's taking his time. Like, bro, did not come back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Definitely not on the first date, but once you think you get to that point where you're going to be intimate with someone, I'll definitely feel like that's a good time. I think in today's society as well, I don't even know it's today, it's probably been always like that. People don't have open conversations about sexual history and just sex in general.
I don't. That's why we created this platform, to be fair. That was one of the main reasons why I wanted to create this platform, because I don't think we do talk enough about things, and I feel like those but then those conversations should be had before you even go on the date. Like, you should be having those.
About having an STD?
Just in general, just about your sexual preference, and if there are any sort of things. Because just say for instance you was dating a guy, and you weren't sleeping with him, and you were getting to know him for 6 months. That's 6 months of your life wasted. And then he tells you, or she tells you something, in regards to a sexual issue, and you'd be like, I personally think I would have wanted to know much earlier. So it's kind of a double-edged sort of sword, like for the person who is experiencing it, and for the other person who may be experiencing it, from their partner. So I think
it's funny as well how people find sexual issues, or just sex on the whole, and what people are dealing with, the last thing to touch on when dating. Like, they'll get to know someone, their whole personality, their characteristics, but that whole sexual side seems to be like
the last.
It's like a taboo. People don't really want to talk about it.
It's a taboo.
And they'll just rather just have sex and brush under the carpet anything that is happening, or anything that their preference, like you said.
I get shy though. I get shy talking about sex.
But then when you're in the bedroom, you're there freaking it out.
Yeah, well, we don't have to talk. Let my body do the talking, y'all. Back it up, y'all. It gets me, Like, I get shy. I start getting all giddy and get like a little girl. And like, I remember, this guy that I was talking to, and one time we was talking on the phone, he's like, you just laugh and giddy like a little schoolgirl. Like, I got you up, this is just laughing, and like a little schoolgirl, and I was like, oh my God. And I was like, yeah, that is how you make me feel. You do make me feel like that. And I just thought, right, you just sound like an idiot. Yeah. But that's how he made me feel, innit? And it was nice. I like that feeling. Do you know what I mean? Because if someone makes you feel like that, it means you like that person, isn't it? Like, it's good to feel like that. Because if you're not bringing out those types of feelings in me, then what's the point, really? You know what I mean? And that's about you becoming comfortable with that person, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So would you, like, if you were in that, if you met someone and you were in that situation where, I don't know, 6 months down the line, they then told you that, I mean, maybe you've done everything else but actually have sex, and then they told you that they had, you know, some sort of sexual issue, how would you feel about that?
It depends on what the sexual issue is. And I guess it also depends on how I feel about that person. You know, because if I'm really into you, like I always say, like you know, like when guys don't tell the truth about they're seeing somebody else or they've got a girl or whatever, and then you're talking to them, and then you find out so they got someone else, and you're just like, why didn't you tell me? Because I might like you and I might be happy to still see you, even though I know say something else is going on. You know, give me the choice. Don't take away my choices.
It's all about choice. It's all about choice, isn't it?
Definitely about choices. So it just, I think. Yeah, it definitely depends on how much I like that person. But if we're going 6 months down the line, definitely I'm feeling you. Yeah. So it would be more of a thing where I'm just like, why don't you just say that from the beginning? Like, because I'm feeling you now, innit? So I guess if we're still talking 6 months down the line, then I'm sure that we're going somewhere. So it would just be a thing like, you should have just said that from a long time. But then,
but also accountability. How come you didn't ask? Like, because, so, you know how you said it might be difficult to, like, ask it certain questions. Like, sometimes I have this thing where if I don't think I can ask a person in person, I'll send them a message. So, okay, so we've been dating for this amount of time. Just want to know, do you have any other sexual partners? Have you had any STDs? When's the last time you've been checked? How often do you get checked?
It's a healthy conversation that we should be having.
It really is.
That's an important one, though.
Do you know what? Even if I'm not with someone and then I intend on, you know, embarking on a relationship, like I'm already checked. I'm making sure that I've been to the clinic and everything down there is lovely and wet and whatever. And
you said lovely and wet.
Yeah.
You gotta make me wet, baby.
So I'm making sure I'm patterning myself and you know, and making sure everything is nice. So I think, and it's weird as well because I always wonder in my head, have you checked yourself out? But I never actually say it.
Yeah, no, it's true.
It's important to ask.
Yeah, and I think
I would like to know whether men take it as serious as women, because you know, like
I don't think they do. I don't think they do. I mean, I could be wrong, but from my experiences, when I've spoken about it afterwards, like when you're a bit more familiar with the person, I'm like, yeah, I was checked, you know, before I saw you, and like. They're like, no, I'm good. But it's funny that I would just, that question's always in my head. I'm always thinking, or even when's the last time you had sex kind of thing, like, have you been checked? So
I found I had a guy who asked me all those questions, so he beat me to it, and it was like, when's the last time you were checked?
How did you feel about that?
It caught me off in a good way because men don't usually ask that question. It's usually me asking that question. So when he hit me with it, I was like, first I was a bit like, why are you asking me that?
Yeah. It's why I try to step
exactly.
I try to take me fire.
Exactly. So I was a little bit kind of offended, but then at the same time I was like, actually, he's doing exactly what I would have done.
Yeah, it's a responsible question.
I was like, definitely. You know, and then he was like, am I making you uncomfortable? I'm like, no, like, you're supposed to ask those questions. You want to know what you're dealing with. A lot of the time people are hung up on who's gonna take control of their heart and hung up on who's taking control of down there.
Exactly.
So, it's important.
Yeah, and taking care of down there is very important for both of us, to keep us, you know, healthy and having safe sex and just being able to trust one another. Because trust, and like you both said, you know, making an informed decision and having a choice of, you know, what you're putting inside you is very important. So, but I think, even having this conversation, I'm hoping it will open the conversation. I think we should campaign for it.
Yeah, but you know what? As we're talking about it, I'm just thinking, because like, sort of, I know we can both catch stuff, But is it easier for a lady to catch something more than it is a man? Because, you know, like, the penis is different from the vagina. So I'm just thinking now, out loud, is it easier for a woman to catch? So that's why we're more inclined to go and check ourselves as opposed to the guy not so inclined, because it's harder for him to catch something.
I don't think it's easier. I just think we're just mentally more mature than men.
Definitely. And do you know what? I think as well, we have a very important role in society because we bear the children. You know, that seed goes inside of us, and you know, our body is an incubator for another human being. And I think instinctively we want to look after our bodies and make sure, you know, everything is ticking over nicely. And obviously men don't even really go to the doctors. You know, they're scared, or, you know, they just can't be bothered to go to the doctors, whereas women, we have the children, so we naturally know that we have to go to the doctors and take the kids to the doctors. So it's a natural thing for us to do. That's just my opinion. But, so yeah, I don't know. Men need to get checked more. Even with the, you know, there was the whole thing about men with cancer,
prostate cancer.
Yeah, like they're not, you know, they're not, because of that thing where they don't like to check themselves, they were just getting it and not even knowing that they had it. So it's we have to take responsibility, not as just women, but as men, as a society, and as a collective, to look after ourselves and to talk about it, and make it normal, not just like something that we do, you know, every now and then. We need to take care of what it means to talk about it.
I think maybe though, because the way men get checked out, and that's why I was saying about, is it easier about catching the diseases or STDs, make it sound better. But because if you think about it, when men get tested, they have to, you've got another, well, it depends on who's touching the penis. They got hang-ups about things like that, isn't it? And then especially like with prostate, they put something inside the penis. There's a lot of tests that they put it inside the penis. So guys don't want no one pushing nothing up there, like their little hole, innit? It's just a tiny little hole, innit? Like, so look at me
that must be really excruciating.
Do you get what I'm saying? So that's quite intimate. It's quite intimate, isn't it?
Yeah. Is it painful? Yeah.
But equally, right, when we have to have our what's it called? Our
smear test.
Smear test. It's the painful when they're clamping and.
I always ask for extra small. I always ask for extra small.
Yeah, that is painful. Yeah, it's painful.
Listen, it is. It's a lot. It's a lot. But then for the men's penis, though, think about that little tiny hole. That's like your wee hole. Something going inside your wee hole.
The same way when we're pushing out babies.
Yeah. But we don't push it out the wee hole. We push it out the other hole.
But do you know what? Again, there's also it's also to do with, because obviously, like you said, we have to have those tests, the smear test. We get reminded about that.
Yeah.
We get a text about that. Do you know what I mean? Do men have that same you know, level of...
No, they don't actually.
It's like, well, it's promoting or whatever. But yeah, so I think, yeah, men, we need to educate. I mean, the society, the NHS needs to make that just mandatory for them to have that platform to get their tests done and it to be normal. And even in the case of, you know, sexual tests and STDs and all that sort of stuff. Make it normal. Ourselves. Yeah, make it a normal conversation.
Yeah. Educate yourself on just the whole female and male anatomy, how you catch diseases, how they come about.
Yeah.
I don't even think those conversations, you know, like you have that sex education in school. After that, no one talks about it ever again. And people start having sex and no more conversations are being had.
Don't you think that conversation should maybe come from home as well, though?
Definitely. 100%.
Because, I mean... Yeah, they have, you know, education do have a responsibility, but ultimately, us as parents and, you know, the youth workers and the teachers or whatever, we have a responsibility to, you know, guide our children to understand things that aren't necessarily they're not necessarily gonna be told, you know, just you know, off the off chance. We need to do that. That needs to be a conversation in the home.
No, definitely. And I guess the only thing that we do talk about more is wearing condoms.
Yeah.
So that's
or don't get pregnant.
Yeah, don't get pregnant or tell the boy to wear a condom.
Yeah, don't come home pregnant.
But we don't talk about, we don't talk about maybe as much the reason why we're talking about, because it's just about having a child as opposed to catching the STD, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this is why I think part of the age of consent of having sex is too young, because are you emotionally stable to make those kind of decisions?
Definitely not.
Just
Definitely
like
not.
educating yourself or having that conversation with a sexual partner.
Yeah.
Can you do that at 16, 17 years old? Like, you can't do
that. I
that.
don't think you're emotionally grown enough to do that, or even had enough experience of life and people.
Exactly.
But you say that, but then if you look at the statistics, well, I have no numbers, but people start out having sex quite early, like before the actual age of consent. So maybe that's why it's so low, because...
I think that's peer pressure.
Well, for boys, a lot of boys that I've spoken to, and I've spoken to a lot of boys, they start having sex from like 14, and in the Caribbean, for example, them man there be having sex from 9, 10, and these kind of mad up ages, like, and with some big girls as well. Like, so sex starts from quite a young age from a cultural perspective, definitely.
So do you feel like we need to start educating them from a much younger age?
Definitely. Yeah.
But then some might say that we're pushing it onto them.
It's not
at a young age.
It's inevitable. It's going to happen. So if we found that through the time that the age is getting younger, where people are having sex, there's nothing wrong with speaking to your child, especially if it's your own child, having those healthy conversations in a way that they understand it. Definitely. And they can take it in, and they know when they go out into the world, they can make better decisions instead of just not having a conversation at all.
Yeah.
And then maybe we wouldn't be having this topic, innit?
Exactly.
Well, there's that. But if you think about it, women start their period from you start your period, that means you're ready to bear a child. So if you start your period at the age of 9, and if men have their wet dream from the age of 9, 10, 11, there's a lot can happen. So realistically, that does need to be happening before secondary school. And
then I think definitely conversations need to be definitely had. But you also have to have it when that child is ready as well. Yeah. You can't push a conversation onto a child, because a lot of children just get embarrassed by it, especially when it comes from their parents as well. Yeah. And I think that's why it's a bit of a challenge at times when you do. I remember I tried to talk to my son about sex, and he was just like, he didn't want to hear it. He was like, Mum, stop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And I didn't stop. I had the conversation in my own way. I made it a little bit less for him, because I can be quite, straightforward and like, no, I don't mince my words. But he didn't want to have that conversation. He didn't want to have that conversation. But conversations definitely need to be had. And then I think we will not completely eradicate, people being uncomfortable to have conversations about sex and any sexual issues that are going on with them. It will be a lighter conversation and easier, but it is about growth. It's about trust and
maturity.
And your experience and getting to know each other. Taking that time to get to know each other before you get to sex.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't know if there's any right time. I would always say as early as possible, though, as once you have an intention that you're going to be intimate at some point, have those conversations.
But do you always know you're going to be intimate with somebody, though? Because that might not just be even it. You might just be talking to them and just seeing. But
you do know. You get the fanny flutters.
Yeah. I feel like you can tell. Fanny flutters.
She said fanny. Like, I don't know what that is. Fanny flutters. Like, that's like people talk about butterflies in your belly. You said fanny flutters.
Yeah, because it's not in your belly, it's down there.
Really?
if
I need to think about if I've had fanny flutters.
Are you serious, Tish?
I need to think about it, I said.
Really? No, definitely. I mean, I can only go by myself, but yeah, I think you know if you're lusting after someone.
Just by talking, to get wet and all that sort of stuff, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
No, but you said fanny flutters, like.
Yeah, fanny
flutters. You said when you start getting wet and get excited down there, then that will make sense.
No, it could even just be, a little, like you said, butterflies. Yeah. Right, but guys, I wanted to say thank you so much for coming on the show today. I really appreciate it, and we hope to see you all again soon.
Thank you.
Like and subscribe. Press the notification button, please, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Is that a real thing though? Like, can't eat, can't sleep?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm missing out.
And when they're coming around, you like tidying up the whole house, making sure everything's spotless.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, like you've never had that like turning off the stomach where it's kind of just like, oh my god, like
I feel sick.
Yeah,
around me. Oh, it would be nice.
Not even them being around, but just like, even like I don't know, like
the
even
attention,
when it's just kind of just like, and it's not. It's almost like a little bit of like anxiety, like it feels like anxiety, but it's not because you're happy in it. You're happy feeling that way. It's not like, oh, I don't feel well. It's more of a thing where you're so excited by, you know, women fucking plan the wedding and the baby's been fucking got there.